Yeah, let's have some fun.
Yeah, let's have some fun. Another episode, man. We just try our best to keep it entertaining. We try to talk to everybody, not at everybody. You know what I mean? We just
But
try
not
to
every but not everybody tries to at us when they talk
straight up.
about us because they want to be us, but they
Right.
ain't us, so they can kiss our ass.
Hold on one second. Go keep talking. I'm about to put myself on mute for a
Hey,
second. I ask a question.
who's that about?
I just threw that out there. I was on a rant. I was on a roll
Oh, I
there, so
thought
I
that
just wanted
was
to.
I thought that was somebody specific.
Hey, sometimes I can create my own drama within, like Jordan,
Who
like
said anything
Jordan,
about who said anything
like
about drama? We don't do drama. I mean, what do you think we
I'm
are
just
W?
saying, what this is what Jordans like to do. So it's just like create stuff so we can be motivated to push forward. So
Hey, Jordan, what's going on? I like the number fives. And that's when I took it personal. It's crazy. Like
what's
Jordan
up, Quay
called
face?
the stupidest thing to be offended by. So he
Like
gets
that man like peanut butter jelly sandwich. I had to
Yeah,
score
'cause,
55 on that night. Hate
right.
that nigga.
I ordered a Big Mac and he ordered a Big Mac, and I took that personal.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
offended. Yo, dude, you don't even sponsor McDonald's. What are you talking about?
Like, wait a minute, how much was that burger? $5? That's how many points he's gonna score. I'm gonna shut that nigga down.
What that got to do with what that got to do with basketball?
Right. Yeah, and one time they were trying to make it seem like Clyde could chew as fast as me. And come on, I mean, Clyde's a great chewer, but
I still had to put 30 on him. What?
I had to buy a second one just to make it personal. Like, what?
Jordan, go home.
Take
Episode
your baggy ass outfits and go.
Man, that
I know, right?
hold on.
What's going
That's
on?
a product of the 90s. I would still wear baggy stuff.
Wait a minute.
That
Hold
motherfucker brought the 90s into
what the
2020.
hell
He's
is
still
that?
dressing like that.
Hold
Well,
on.
shoot, I do that for
what the hell
R&B
is that?
music.
You man, don't put that in my nose no more. Oh my god, that shit is
Whoa,
strong.
what the hell?
Will she give you a COVID test?
Hold on. What? Say that again.
Oh, it's better than a
You
colonoscopy.
can't drink the first 5% because it's this strong.
Yeah.
It's not like Everclear. You're not supposed to drink it, but you can run in a vehicle off of this.
What? Nah, my brother-in-law has some moonshine. He made me smell that shit. That shit is strong as fuck.
Whoa, moonshine?
You made it? Wow. I might have to get a bottle one day from
Red Dead Redemption. You got Red Dead Redemption 2 VF edition over there.
Yeah, let me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get in touch with you. You let me know what's happening. All right.
Man, this was like the 1920s, and man,
Hey,
FBI would have been at
I'm
the
supposed
door.
to be starting the intro, but man, that shit
VF over here bootlegging.
hey, that shit will clean out your brain cells. That shit is strong. My
Yeah,
God.
also clean out your bank account.
Goodness. Damn. All right, this is 166 of First and Framerates podcast. Myself,
That's how
Bills.
It sounds like you just say coon. Coon.
Oh man, I try not to cough, man. That shit
This
is
episode
strong,
is off to a hilarious start.
Oh man, I try not to cough, man. That shit is strong. Myself,
Like
DJ, Bills. We here. We're gonna talk about NBA 2K21. The blog just came out. It was leaked. We thought it was fake, but it turned out to be real. So we're gonna talk about that.
I didn't
We
think
didn't think it was fake. We knew it was leaked, but yeah.
Somebody said it was fake. I can't.
Then why did you say we?
No, I can't remember.
Here.
Honestly, I can't remember if it was us or if it was
It's
somebody else.
Hollywood.
Unless you
Hollywood
return to us being like French, ain't no
I know-
we over here.
But I know somebody on Twitter thought it was fake, and I couldn't remember if it was in the DMs or not. Somebody thought it was, but
I don't think it was us.
right.
I think we just were like, we're waiting for the entire blog to come
Right.
out.
And we knew it was gonna come out.
Mm.
And the thing is, we knew it was gonna come out shortly. I'm like, the thing did drop on the site accidentally, so that's why.
Then they removed it.
Mhm.
That shit's still that shit's still.
Are
in my
you
nose.
drinking on the podcast? What the-
No, that smell is still in my nose.
It was like, yo, that shit just hit me. What type of delay?
Hey, is that strong, bro? You probably get drunk off the smell.
moonshine.
That shit is
What do you call
strong,
it?
bro?
Shoot, what do you call it? Delay shot?
It could be. The Last of Us 2 PermaDeath, we're going to talk about that as well. And anybody who come through with the question, please put it in the comment section. We'll talk about that as well. So that's what's going on here. We did some tests earlier today, right, DJ, with our streams.
Again, you keep on calling me Bills, but what is going on?
This has been the most.
What, did I say Bills?
Yes, you started off and then you crazy.
This has been the most helter-skelter start to this podcast.
Well, anyway.
No, it's kind of how the day's been, honestly. I'm like,
this is how y'all know
left and right on Twitter.
But this is how y'all know we don't rehearse a fucking thing.
Not a damn thing. I know who that was. Antonio Wilson thought that we script the show. I told him because he asked me like, "What are y'all talking about for the next episode?" I was like, "Yo, we don't know until like 5 minutes before we start."
You tell us.
Exactly.
Like, just look at it like this: the show forms as we do it.
Pretty much. But no, we did some live stream tests. I got Restream up, or it's like Rio Stream, or one of these things up. I know where you could dual stream between YouTube and Twitch. That was a success. DJ worked on his streams. That was a success. So you guys need to come through our streams. I mean, we from what I seen on DJs, and it was very high quality, 1080p, 60, very clean stream.
And
on my end.
And I'm gonna tell you about your end. Your end was clean, 1080, 60. You doing a which racing game? Forza?
Oh, that was Gran Turismo Sport.
Oh, Gran Turismo Sport. Oh yeah, you were on the PS4, but it's very clean. Audio is very good. So yeah, definitely come check us all out. We get Bill's up and running too. We'll be ready to go.
Yeah, we'll get him straight eventually. But nevertheless, man, we're out here, man. We're not just talking about the games. We're not bashing or having, crazy opinions or saying that we're upset at the games all the time like most people in this community do. We actually try to play them and have fun and enjoy ourselves, and you guys can do the same, just by, learning what we do and watching us stream as well. So it's all on the up and up over here. Other than that, we're just going to get started. Bills, I know you wanted to talk about the blog. I think you had the most words. I don't know between you and DJ. I don't have a problem with the blog.
I don't have much to talk about though. I think part of me is underwhelmed by the blog, if anything.
Yeah, I can see that.
I just, how do I describe this? Like, it's not that anything they did was a negative, but so much of what they talked about was shit that could have been told to us like the week that the game comes out. Like, none of that shit is gonna really sell me on buying the game. Altering the pro stick and all that is, I mean,
when I looked at that, what that reminded me of? That kind of reminded me of, what was it, NBA Live 14?
Right.
How they did like the dribble moves when you hold it a certain way to do dribble moves, because like I think it was 14 or 15 where it wasn't just flicking it anymore. You like hold it one way and then they'll do like their size ups or something like that, like to hold the right stick up. That's how I was doing the size ups on 14. I remember that.
All right,
I think it was 14 to 15. It was one.
Now, can you guys see the screen? I'm sharing it right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So
since you got the screen, okay, go ahead, Bills.
I was gonna say, I mean, for a gameplay blog, I'm looking at it and there's just not much that I can go on game. I mean, honestly, if you really want to be real about it, a lot of that shit they talked about was gameplay mechanics, not really gameplay.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I figured Mike Wang was gonna talk about was mainly gameplay mechanics. I'm like, he's been the main person asking about, okay, what about this for shooting? What about this for play calling? What about this for defensive play, like skill stick or whatever? So to me, it was exactly what I was expecting.
It's not that, I mean, look, I wasn't expecting anything from 2K21 period this generation, but if you're going to put out a gameplay blog,
I think this is one of the things that's one thing that I got from it. For me, it was more like, this is a lot more than I would expect out of a game that's on the last leg of the generation. Now, one thing I will say is not much to blow you away, but for them to put this much stuff in it, I actually applaud them, because most sports games going to the last leg of the generation pretty much just mail it in and say, hey, look, we're just going to go ahead and give you a carbon copy. Not saying that the movement and the gameplay may well be a carbon copy, but from what I see here, it looks like they actually try to do something. And I guess that's okay.
The only thing I want to hear about is the sliders. Honestly, it's the only thing that intrigued me, and they didn't go into it.
Right. Go up a little bit, on DJ, because no, go further than that. All the way up.
To the beginning.
Is that it? Because I was going to see the biggest change. Well, I'm on a different one than you are, so I thought it was going to be a carbon copy.
Oh, okay.
Because basically it's saying the biggest gameplay changes to include like the major change to the pro stick, shot meter, timing bar.
Oh, you must be looking at somebody else's site, because I'm on the 2K site itself.
Okay, I'm looking at Op Sports.
Operation Sports had the rundown of what they said was the change before they got into the blog itself.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And it's a shot meter changer from a timing to a targeting system, which I wish they would do that with quarterbacks in football games, but that's another thing. That sounds like something that you will see in a
well, you know game. What? They sat there and said, and shout out to Obi-Wan, he was talking about this earlier, that it kind of equates to what NBA Elite did, and they even said they tried something like this in 2K17.
17,
but it was just antiquated, or it was just
something like I'm curious to see how that works. I would try it out. I'm not a fan of it. I'm more of a, just long as you shoot the ball at the height of your shot, and long as you're not like using any type of momentum, you should have a clean shot. Based on how well that player shoots, it should go in or whatever may happen once he hits the rim. The targeting system is, I just need to see how that plays out, because like you said, with NBA Elite 11, it was okay, but it definitely was not ideal while playing in game. Because like, say if you want to do a bank shot in the middle of a game, you literally had to shoot the ball with the right stick at an angle and to get it right off the glass. That's like really hard in game.
So just that bank shot, I think all you had to do is just press up when you're taking a jump shot at certain angles.
Yeah, but with a targeting system, from what I know from NBA Elite 11, it's different with a targeting system. If they're taking anything from that, it's not just up; it's like up and right or up and left.
Because they were saying that, like, as far as the meter is concerned, it's like once you start your jump shot, then it's just like you get to that sweet spot, but then that's when you dynamically, it changes as the meter itself is going to change as you're shooting. So you have to keep it in that target zone. And I think you can actually lock it in with a different mechanic.
I need to play that to see, because that seems like a lot going on for a jump shot.
The thing is, I'm keeping the settings from last year. I'm not fucking with
it. Yeah, that just seems like it's they're overcomplicating it.
And that's the thing. It's like there's an option to go back to last year's scheme. And the thing is, if you play with the shot meter off, it defaults goes back to last year's scheme.
Okay, I got you.
So this stronger presence from bigs in the paint is an interesting one, because a lot of times the thing that gets me is the fact that on those in-air collisions, and I've also talked about the ground collisions going into layups, a lot of times guys seem weightless in the paint when they're defending. And it's not a positive, because the paint it's hard to score in the paint if you're actually making contact with the center or anybody contesting your shot. It's hard to score. But you got these guys who turn into, like, when you do a spin move or a Euro step, they kind of end up being weightless in the paint when they're trying to defend you. And I hated that, because it would turn into an easy basket far too many times. So if the bigs are going to alter more shots, not so much block more shots, alter more shots, then that's a positive. And also just have the weight mean something. If it's
no, go ahead. I'll tell you one thing. Like, when I was playing College Hoops 2K8 on the stream the other day, I noticed that the bodies in the paint actually mean something. Like, you can't roll up on anybody and just lay it up or dunk it or whatever, or just get position. Like another situation, like with NBA Live 08, or like any of those older games, like, you couldn't like hop step into the lane like free willy-nilly. You're going to get bodied. Yeah, you're going to get bodied, right? And I see what you're getting at with that.
Yeah, because me and DJ have talked about this for years. With that inside contact and driving contact layup thing, you get sucked into animations, right? But the other thing is, you turn out to not get all of the animations in a guy's layup package because they're going into those same contact situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I would prefer for weight to just matter more. And I would like to see the computer be able to adjust their shot better in the paint instead of tossing up some shit that's obviously going to get sent.
Mm-hmm.
They worked on it this year a little bit, and obviously the roster can kind of supplement that. But yeah, like I just want to feel like when I'm going in the paint against a Gobert or a Drummond that that's a true rim protector.
Right.
And I think that if they have a badge or something for that, like Intimidator or whatever they call it, it should drop your layup percentage if you're going up against that guy.
And then
Right.
on top of that, I'm like, we definitely need to show off these guys' layup packages.
Yes.
I'm like, you got so
I've been
many of
asking
them
that
in the
for
game that, you know, if you don't have a defensive presence that's gonna cause a shooter to adjust their layup or their shot, then it's just like, what's the point of having these multiple layup packages when you're really only going to see maybe one or two?
Around 18, I think live 18, live 19, basically every layup that certain guys took was a layup in their layup package. There were no generic layups for certain guys.
That's one thing I will say about Live 19.
Yeah.
They did a pretty good job of differentiation of players and their layups. Like everybody can't do the same thing.
Yeah.
And they could have took notes with that from Madden because Madden's code. Well, Madden could take notes from them because one thing about Madden was just hell bent of everybody having some form of the same animation. Nobody was too much different. Live, I guess this is one of the pluses about Live because it had to constantly continue to be developed over and over again. They had to get away from that because even with, in some cases of the earlier Lives, they always had like different shooting mechanics. Like you go back to Live 10 and you look at what's his name, Kevin Garnett mid-range jump shot compared to LeBron James or Kobe's mid-range. The whole animation is different. I mean, you see that in the beginning when you first play Live 10, you have the little shoot around with all the players. It's like one thing I can say about Live, with all the problems in the game, they always had it to where the different packages or different animations, they were there. The problem is just that there was not enough animations for like basic things.
And that's the thing. I mean, you have packages that you can pick for dunks, and you have up to 10 or whatever. You should be able to do the same thing with the layups. And,
Right.
you know, obviously, once you get into the contact animations, that's going to be different. You do need generic animations to play out in certain circumstances. But if a guy's in the paint and the contact doesn't really apply, Trae Young should be laying the ball up like Trae Young. Stephen Curry should be laying the ball up like Stephen Curry. It should trigger every time. If their jump shot triggers every time, I feel like their layup animations need to trigger too. Because,
Yeah, I agree.
you know, when you watch a LeBron James or a Giannis or whoever, they lay the ball up very uniquely, the way they finish, even through contact. But more specifically, you know, when they're laying it up uncontested, it just looks different than everybody else. So that needs to apply every time that they lay the ball up, not just sometimes.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you with that. I think that's how it should be, and I'm actually surprised that just Live in general just have not capitalized and just put a game out that continues what they did. I don't understand why Live 20. And I ain't talking about 21, but why Live 20 had to be canceled after 19 was actually a pretty decent game. And what happened was they just decided not to put out another game. They could have just tweaked 19 and just kept it moving. At least you would have had something out there. But I mean, Live is a whole different subject for another day. I don't.
Yeah, we're still drumming up that episode.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so what else is in the blog that y'all want to talk about? The pro stick was the thing for me. I'm actually pretty. I like what I see there.
Yeah, that one is pretty interesting. I'm just like this. Even though I'm not gonna be using the shot meter, which kind of reverts the controls back to 2K20. I kind of wish that I could keep these controls the way they are, so I can have just because I'm like, live actually takes advantage. Well, they took advantage of the fact that okay, to take the jump shot, you hold down the analog button or the analog stick, and then all the other ones you just do for the dribble moves. Now, it's almost like okay, well, if I'm not going to use the shot meter, I'm going to lose this functionality unless I just revert to the buttons and just switch it to right analog dribble moves only.
Right.
So I'm like, if I had to do that, I may have to do that. But I would like to not go with the shot meter and keep that there as by default. So we'll see. I'm like, the demo is supposed to come out the 24th?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out like 24.
I'm interested to hear why they did this defensive stance thing. Because quite frankly, this is like, if they were gonna go signature movement, this wasn't something that I think anybody would pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somebody that watches basketball every night, I watch basketball every night. I can, I guess, tell the difference between Andre Iguodala's defensive stance and Kawhi's defensive stance, but I would more so want them to have signature defensive tendencies.
See, that's what I was thinking too.
Because if they're gonna have this signature player movement, well, how are the ratings gonna make them different?
Right.
Because they could be in a different stance, but if that's just aesthetic and it doesn't affect gameplay, for example, okay, well, LeBron's stance is a bit too wide, so then he can't contest a shot as quick or things like that. Like, that should matter if you're gonna do that. That's why I said I would prefer for them to add signature acceleration animations on offense. That's what I would prefer. Because this, to me, and obviously, I'll have to try it, so the jury's still out, but just reading it, I don't really get. I mean, does this mean Pat Beverly's going to really press you when he gets on the ball and he's defending you and you're the ball handler? Is he going to really press you and try to do the little peekaboo animations and jump from side to side? If that's the case, then that's fine. But if this is literally just the way they stand, I don't know.
Yeah, because you talk about
this movement has undergone several refinements, both with the ball and without, to provide a more consistent and responsive feel. So that is interesting. But
you got to understand how I'm kind of curious how they did that with everybody being under COVID and not having player movement, or I mean not player move, but motion cap. So that's gonna be interesting as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I'm actually curious about. I want to know how they do that because I have no idea. That's kind of weird, but I don't know.
They had things like that already in place. I mean, after they got finished releasing 2K20, I'm sure they already got a lot of that mocap in place for these defensive settings and all this stuff. I'm sure that was like already in place.
That is true. No, I mean that could be that's possible.
Well,
so, I mean, I think. Oh, go ahead. What you about to say?
I was about to say, just to go back to shooting for a moment. I know Bill's pointed this out to me earlier, and I had said I had seen it earlier, but they gave us the ability to turn off the feedback for the CPU when they would flash green at their feet for just. I'm like, obviously for a reason, but that's one of the things that annoyed the hell out of me last year. It was like, why do I need to see if anybody pulls off a green? I'm like, I don't need to know if I pulled off a green or not because I'm not using a meter. I don't care. That kind of pulls me out of the game when I see a green splash.
I think NLCS, the new guys on their podcast said it best. It's like when you pay attention to that, it's like you're more paying attention to the actual mechanics instead of the immersion of the game.
Right. And see, what I'll say is, the only mode I was okay with it was my career, because obviously I'm only controlling one player for the entire game, and when I feel like, oh shit, I actually got my shot right, it is kind of satisfying. And then when you dish it to a guy and he's wide open and he gets a green release, it's like, okay, that's pretty cool. But if I'm playing with the NBA teams, and I'm playing a regular game, it's just, I mean, God, imagine if it's the last possession, you see the motherfucker got a green release. I don't want to see that. I want to know missed the fucking shot or not. And you know what though? That goes into something else that DJ hit me to that I haven't thought about in a while. The fucking rim physics and the trajectories of some of these shots are another thing that they might have.
That to me, I like the rim physics, but sometimes it just don't feel as good as they used to.
But this is what I asked DJ. I asked him this. I said, have you ever had, or in the past however many years, have you had a situation where the ball comes off the rim really sharp and it like falls under the basket?
And
those dynamic things don't happen.
Right.
Usually it bounces up and in whatever way, but you don't have situations where the ball bounces and then off the backboard and then it's kind of
like I said, one thing
in a way, the way the ball, I don't know.
Yeah. Like College Hoops 2K did a really good job with ball to rim physics. 2K11 did a pretty decent job too. Actually, Live 10 and Live 19 did pretty well too. It's just, you would think it's something that with this day and age it'd be a little bit more dynamic.
Because we used to see a lot more shots where you couldn't predict whether it was going to go in or not because it'll hit the rim and it'll go around a couple times and it'll drop. Now you don't even see those really.
Right.
Most times the ball hits the inside of the rim and just goes in.
And see, and even with that, even when it looks like it's on the inside of the rim, sometimes it does that little like delay and then it comes out. And I was like, wait a minute, why is it coming out? It was on its way in.
Right,
I'm like,
right.
It's not like a situation where it rolled around on the rim. It literally was in. And then
it slow rolls
out. And it's just like, what the hell?
Well, and then this is another thing that I've paid attention to when we talk about finishing around the basket. I don't mean to get into this whole 2K spiel, right? But these are just things that we notice. Another thing I noticed was, you notice how pretty much everybody lays the ball up at the same angle off the glass?
Right.
Yep.
There's no high layups or one that spins off the side of the glass or anything like that.
There are a lot of guys that can use the glass
to their advantage,
creatively. Right. The top of the damn side of the backboard, and then it just drops in. And
you haven't seen people do that. Like, I mean, from a regular jump shot perspective, since like Scottie Pippen and maybe somebody else that would do high angle bank shots.
But not only that, you don't even see too many teardrops anymore either.
But that's what. You know what? You used to be able to assign floater
people to do that, right? Matter of fact, a floater used to be a full-fledged animation you had to pick.
And I've picked a fight with that whole situation about the lack of responsiveness with the floater too. The lack of responsiveness with the floater animation is a bit worrisome. When you get into that in-between game, and you get around the hedge and you get that center right in front of you holding him in that little area where you can even make a bounce pass or shoot that floater, it's not responsive enough.
Nope.
Right.
But like I said, people might consider this nitpicking, but these are important things for immersion. If the ball's going off the backboard the same way every time, or the ball's coming off the rim the same way every time, I mean, there's no unpredictability to the rebounds. And, there's not a lot of long rebounds. I mean, shit, how many times the ball bounces off the rim and ends up at the three-point line back to the guy that shot it? That doesn't happen very often.
Especially how people are taking jump shots these days.
Right.
These guys are running down the court and they're pulling up. Right. So the velocity of these shots, they're coming at the rim, and should either come flying right back out, or depending on where it hits, may bounce up. High shots that high bounces off the back of the rim that may fall in. There was a shot the other day that Lillard hit a shot like that, where it bounced high off and then just fell right on in.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when there's no unpredictability to the rebounding, you just kind of know where it comes off every single time, and the guy who's in that position usually just sort of grabs it. But the thing is, they have these different arcs for guys' shots. Like Dirk shoots it pretty high, and there are a couple other guys that have a pretty high arc for their shots. The rim physics should reflect that. And, that's why when I talk about the ball skirting off the rim and dropping underneath the basket, people like Klay Thompson that don't have a lot of arc to their shot, and Kobe Bryant didn't have a lot of arc to his shot. You know, those are things that you should see. The rebounding should be different based on the guy, and that should be part of the strategy. Like, okay, I know this guy doesn't have a lot of arc on his shot. It's going to be short rebounds.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit, there's times that the ball should come off the rim and bounce off somebody's foot and go out because nobody had a chance to grab it. There was no way they could grab it. There's no way they could respond quick enough. That's immersion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But when you don't take rebounding serious enough, because it's not, you know, and I'll never accuse 2K of ignoring shit that's not a back of the box feature, but, you know, they've been tinkering with the dribbling and tinkering with the player movement for a few years now. And rebounding is something that hasn't really gotten a lot of attention from, you know, the perspective of, like I said, rim physics. And
well, I mean, the rebound hasn't been touched for to help the user in general.
And so, I mean, it's pretty much
like user rebounds have been like a thing of the past for a long time.
Because then we, you know, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole too far, but there's other things that you have to consider also when you work on the rebounding, such as different animations for different guys at different positions, right? I mean,
yeah,
you know, a center's not going to jump as high to get a rebound, but a guy like Westbrook's going to have to get high. And one of the reasons I take an issue with the rebounding specifically is some of these offensive rebounds are fucking mind-boggling sometimes. I mean, you got a center down there who just looks at the ball come off the rim and a fucking point guard just boxes him out and grabs it. And it happens a lot. And he gets this high fucking animation. I'm like, dude.
Just ask Apex about it. He tells about it all the time.
It's crazy. It's like, so that's like, you know, when people say 2K has nothing to work on, I mean, come on.
No, I mean, like I said, that game does a very good job of representing basketball, but it has a lot to improve. Yeah. And one thing what I will say is the fact that you have like Scott O'Gallagher who does communicate with us. Mm-hmm. He acknowledges that, and that's what I like at the end of the day, because you have some that don't, and they try to shun it upon you because of it. You know, and I hate stuff like that.
And that's and the shit we talk about is, like I said, what people call nitpicking, and it's not nitpicking. If they played the demo and shit like that was changed, they would realize immediately something's different about this.
Yeah, I mean, this just goes back to what we were saying. Like, we want a good experience, and we have no problem telling you what needs to be done. You know what I mean? And I think that's fair at the end of the day when we tell you what needs to be done in the game.
Well, it's just like on Twitter, I saw that they said that they realized people were complaining about throwing full court passes and them flying over the guy's head. If you don't have the pass accuracy, that should happen.
That should happen, exactly.
But and the thing about it is fucking 2K camera.
And not only that, Bills, where they been? That's been going on since 2K11.
And it should be.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying that's nothing new. That's been going on for a long time.
If they want to complain about that shit, they need to complain about that invisible fucking force field that keeps them in bounds.
Yeah, because
for them on court passes, them full court passes.
Yeah,
that's one thing that
because you see players like jump in the air close to the sideline, and there's in midair stopping and falling right down the same spot to keep them in bounds. I remember
just goes into the overhaul, passing overhaul to keep talking about.
Let's talk about some of these console, because I see the word console. Some of these chat comments, yeah. Wordybird Gamer said Madden 21 next week. Definitely, we're going to talk about that then, because you have another podcast talking about Madden 21 right now, and they're talking about the yard. We don't know nothing to do with the yard right about now. Let's see.
We pulling a WCW Monday Nitro in it.
I know, right? Birdie Gaming says he also said what I don't like about 2K is the change of controls every year. I think this is like the first change that they did controls, because I know 16, 17, 18 they did changes.
I think that's catch-22 though, because it's like if you don't change the controls, a bunch of people are gonna complain. We wanted this change and blah blah blah, and then when you do change them, why you change them every year? I'm like, it's either damned if you do, damned if you don't. But then at the same time, at least I think in some cases, like with this one with the shooting, at least they give you an option to go back to last year.
And I think that's what it, because I didn't have a problem with the controls. I mean, the dribbling controls, I see why they changed them, because I don't have a problem with those changes. Because I mean, a lot of people want the same old controls from Live 03, which nothing against those controls. Those controls are great, but it's just like I want to see a little bit of innovation at the same time. He said, Wordy Burke also said that I think you will see better physics with the new console. I hope so, but I'm kind of on the side that I don't agree. I think we're going to probably see the status quo when it comes to those things, because we said we was going to get cloth physics this generation. See what happened with that. Let's see.
Wait,
what
is he talking about? That for Madden or 2K?
No, he's just saying in general, talking physics in general.
Yeah, because the only one that I remember that was supposed to do it was Madden. But FIFA already kind of did it with the jersey tug and stuff like that, which to this day, everybody's looking at the EA devs for Madden and like, you got FIFA with jersey tugs, and you guys are on the same engine. What's up?
Those jersey tugs are dope too.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it just go back even with NHL, man. The fact that their jerseys be flipping and flopping, like we talked about the other day. I mean, I would like to see that in Madden, or hell, I would like to see that in 2K. Just something to show that the jersey's not attached to the body. You know what I mean? I like Bills. 2K7 did an amazing job with that.
Well,
and
look, I mean, we can't.
And the fact that they went away from that is mind-boggling.
Well, shit, we can't talk about cloth physics in Madden when they don't even know whether they want reach tackles to be in the game or not year to year.
Yeah, you're right.
That would be the only thing cloth physics.
All right,
I'm grabbing somebody.
I'm gonna drop the screen. So
okay, you good? Drop
all
it.
right.
All right. No, it's just I just think that with this generation coming up, we should like big time innovation, and we don't see it. We thought we was gonna get it this particular generation because we had a whole website saying that they would with living worlds and everything. You know, at least with NBA 2K, you felt like it wasn't nothing to blow you away, but it did feel like it was a next generation experience. I will give 2K that credit.
I was about to say, the funny thing about with EA is that the only game that's still on the Ignite engine is NHL. And they literally are like, we're not coming up off this engine because we don't want to sacrifice. But
the thing about it is, I mean,
sacrifice the Switch.
The thing about NHL, though, I mean, we want more in the NHL as well, but for the most part, NHL has a system that actually works. You know, and for the most part, what they're running, it gives you a pretty good experience, and it feels like hockey compared to some of these other games that just, feel like you're just going through the motions. So, I mean, maybe it's just me because I'm not that big of a fan of the current hockey games. But that's what I feel when I play NHL 18. I felt like I had a pretty good experience.
Well, I know with the NHL series, they just had to add more systems, more strategy systems. There's way more strategies that you should be using in NHL than what the actual video game is giving everybody. I'm like, it's well known that they need to add those systems in place. It's also well known that they need to improve the skating movement as it relates to defensive positioning, the AI awareness when it comes to positioning amongst each other, also towards the puck carrier, goaltender. They've worked on goaltender AI, and that's been actually very good from what I've seen. But as far as the players themselves, because you literally have players that will run into, like, defensive players will run into each other or go helter-skelter to chase the puck, and they are literally chasing the puck when really, when you see it in these games, that they kind of hold their positions. It's not necessarily, skate to the puck carrier and take the puck from them with every defensive player. They hold a position because usually they're there to block a shot, protect the goaltender, clear anybody that's out trying to block the goaltender's line of sight, and just maintaining that one unit function. So NHL just has to do a better job with that.
Right. I'm curious to see how NHL 21 is going to be. Anybody know when that comes out on Access or whatever?
I don't know.
It's probably going to be September.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much one of the big time EA games I'm actually looking forward to.
Wait. I just thought of something, and actually not just
Oh wow,
now. But
it's on October 16th. That's kind of
that's kind of late. Yeah.
well, they said they was gonna come out later.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it says
That's-
a few weeks
yeah.
later than normal. I'm reading it. Yeah.
But here's the thing: we don't, as far as when we play, when you guys are playing Madden, or I think Bills is gonna be the one playing Madden. They're gonna. Everyone knows their team schedules and stuff like that, so you can play through. NBA 2K and NHL right now don't have next season's schedule. So,
you're right.
when you play your My League or My GM franchise mode for these two games, well, probably not necessarily for NHL because NHL will probably be done and already set up with their season. Not set up, but whatever. But NBA right now, they're talking about the finals are going to be in October. So
Finals?
the NBA finals, they set the NBA finals schedule is going to be like October.
Yeah, that sounds
October
about
4th.
right too. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we were talking about next season might be jacked up as well.
So, well, yeah, but in the video games, when you start your My League, are they going to just say, "Hey, next season it's going to be a totally customizable schedule"? Which randomize it.
I think they're going to give you a customizable 82 game season, or it's just going to be an auto generated one. I can see that.
You know what's funny?
I'd prefer a customizable one.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Because I've had an issue with the NBA schedule for some time now anyway, the way they have it set up, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you play divisional teams 4 times, teams in your conference 3 times. Conference twice.
Since we're here, how would you like to have it set up?
So, I would prefer if you played your division 3 times, and then everybody in your conference you only played twice, and everybody in the NBA, everybody on the opposite team you played a lot more in the opposite conference, because that gives you an opportunity to see some of these finals matchups that I think people would be interested in seeing early on, instead of saying, oh well, we only saw the Clippers and the Celtics play twice and they split. Well, I mean, if they get to break the tie in the other conference, they should be able to get, or I should say in their conference, they should be able to break the tie in the other conference.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying, yeah.
Because they've changed it a couple times now, but, like I said, division, they play 4 times, which who really pays attention to the fucking divisions in the NBA? Nobody. I mean, I can't, I've never been able to, well, I think probably at one time I was able to name all the teams in each division, but it doesn't really matter at this point.
I think with the fact that it's at 3 different divisions instead of 2 is why it doesn't seem so as significant as it used to be.
Pacific, and
Southeast. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Southeast, even in hockey, the Southeast Division, before they renamed the divisions back over again, even the Southeast was always the weakest division. I'm like, the Capitals were winning like back-to-back Southeast Division, but I was sitting there looking at it like, that doesn't mean anything because they got Tampa, Florida, they got all these weak-ass hockey teams in that division. And right now with the Wizards, they have the Orlando Magic, the Atlanta Hawks, maybe the strongest team that's in there is the Miami Heat, but still, I'm like, who's coming out of there that's going to do something?
I'm sorry, real quick. Wordyberg says still the Ignite engine and Frostbite engine can take that engine and build on it. I think the Frostbite engine is a dead engine for football.
Yep.
So you have the Frostbite for the stadium and the fans and things that players are on the Ignite ignition. Now you're talking about splitting 2 engines in one game. You're asking for a disaster.
There's different mechanisms. One could work off the other, but it just seemed like the 2 weren't meant to work together. If you're talking about like player motion and stuff like that, because obviously when they first introduced Frostbite to Madden, my whole thing was it was going to be graphically improved, not necessarily gameplay and stuff like that. So I do believe he is telling the truth. He or she is telling the truth about them using Ignite as far as because that's what they touted as far as like the player motion. They weren't talking. I'm like, as far as Living Worlds, that actually came with Frostbite what little we got.
Man,
Really? 'Cause I thought Living World came from the night.
so I'm about to piss y'all off with some shit that I'm about to read to you.
I thought Living Worlds came from Ignite.
It did. So hold on though.
All
With
right,
Frostbite, Madden NFL 18 visuals will make you feel like you're in the game every time you pick up the sticks. Get ready for this shit. Stadium atmosphere.
Frostbite.
Stadium exteriors include featuring cityscape views and realistic dynamic weather.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Lied and said it would be in the game, and
Yeah, that's what. See, told you. I said what little we got, and I didn't even know you was gonna read that off, Bill. So
yeah, I literally typed in Frostbite Madden, and that shit popped up.
That's crazy. I mean, my thing is, I just never was a fan of Frostbite. When they first said they was gonna bring it over, I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it's made to be a first-person shooter engine, not a sports game. I'm surprised FIFA made it through. And but even so, even FIFA eventually suffered from it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, what are we talking about with 2K? I mean,
hell no, we're not talking about the yard.
No, I have nothing to say about the yard.
I'm like, oh shoot. Some people like to talk about the prison yard, but that's over there in that studio.
Prison.
So
I don't know. It's just my thing is I just wish that 2K would just continue to build off what they're doing for next gen, because it seems like this is a good bit for current gen, and I'm okay with that. From what I hear is like next gen is supposed to be done by a different set of group of people. So hopefully that'll be the one to blow us away, kind of similar to what it was the last time around. So hopefully that'll be the case.
Don't worry, Work Birdie Gaming. I was just being 2020 compliant. That's all.
Anything else y'all got on this 2K situation? Because I think the blog is okay. It's just blah to me. It's nothing to make me say, "Oh my God, I want to get it." I'm still at the $30 mark. Give me the game at 30. I'm good.
I think there's 2 more blogs coming. I mean, like offense, defense, because somebody's gone quiet. I'm like,
who's going quiet? What do you mean?
For the last 2 shows, have you seen Scott OG pop up?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen him. You might be on the something.
I inboxed him before, and Nathan. So
yeah, you never know. I mean, this is probably around the time he can't say much anyway, and
that's what I'm alluding to is that the fact that I think we probably have. Oh, who
are you talking to?
Who you talking to?
Hey, check your inbox, fam.
That was funny how you did that.
What was I gonna say? So the thing with 2K is what the fuck was I gonna say?
Wow, oh my gosh.
I literally forgot what I was gonna say. Because you brought up 2K, I thought I was gonna say something about Madden. I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
I mean, I was just pretty much closing out the topic, because I think we touched on pretty much everything that we wanted to touch on.
Well, there you go. I'm working on 21 as we speak. See?
Well, there you go.
There you go. I'm like, and we knew that honestly, because this is the crunch time. I'm like, you guys are gonna be on it, and that's gonna be life for the next few months until the next gen version comes out. While fixing up, because I see y'all did a shout out to what was it? 2K? Was it VC South? Yep, said crunch time. Yeah.
Yeah, it is crunch time, so I can't wait.
You have that clutch gene though, Scott OG, in crunch time. Is it Dame time?
Come on, Chris. Come on, Chris.
No. Let him do that. My thing is, I hope he got our podcast like blasting, so if he's around other people who's working on the game, listening to us as well.
Nah, he probably got some headphones.
Yeah, probably so.
Probably home.
That too.
They're all at home.
Yeah,
I forgot. I'm so thinking like Corona.
Wow.
What am I
We assume they're home. They might not be. Who knows?
Hey, I'm telling you, that's why I'll show you how much I care about this virus. I'm like thinking everything's normal and stuff.
Wow. Yeah, that's how you catch them in the first place.
VS
Just out here shaking hands.
VS like, yo, walk up into the other cubicle and let them know.
Yeah, like, yo, exactly. Like, I'm not even thinking about it, you know.
Chris Thomas said research purposes. Motherfucker, you better play that demo.
Right. August 24th, it comes out.
Oh, did you see the deleted tweet Ronnie 2K put up?
No, I didn't see it.
I feel like there might end up being like an actual NBA style game rather than just practice mode, because in the deleted tweet he said you can invite a friend to play online, I guess.
Okay.
So that's kind of interesting, but then he deleted it.
So they're giving us an original type of demo like we used to get back in the day?
Yeah, kind of like NBA 2K11, I guess. Maybe it won't be centered as much around.
Because DJ, remember back in the day when there was the PS2 and the Xbox original Xbox days, when you actually had to get a whole disc for a demo?
I'm looking at the terminology. Remember, in the past they've called it the prelude, and now it's a demo. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
that is.
So it's funny because I remember like I used to buy the Xbox magazine, and I still got my demo disc.
Well, you know what? Thinking about the wording again, if you think about Prelude, you were playing a lot of my career stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Important, and now you're playing like the game, and experiencing the mechanics like the way it was always supposed to be.
Speaking of that damn demo disc, so I had a demo disc for PS1. On that demo disc, I think it had NBA 2K, not NBA 2K, NBA Shootout 2000, the first Gran Turismo.
Oh, that's
another one. I think it had Killzone, the first Killzone.
Damn.
Yeah, I had them demo discs back in the day.
But yeah, man, like I said, like demo discs used to be the truth, man. I still have, like, I had some, and then Resolve. Shout out to Resolve wherever he is in the world. He gave me the rest of the original Xbox ones that he had. I got like 50 of them.
I used to kill them damn demo discs knowing I wasn't gonna get the game.
I mean, that's the reason why you had it, right? Like, yo, I can't afford the game.
Give me those 2-minute quarters in NBA Shootout where you play the fucking All-Star game and you play 2-minute quarters, man. I'll be sitting there killing that shit. Like, what?
Yeah, it's like, yo, I can't afford this game. My mom's not gonna buy it, so I might as well.
Right, exactly.
You know? Yeah. I remember when I had the demo disc to Halo 2. And I like played that first, like it was like the first level or first half of the first level or something like that. I played that like to death, and I was like, okay, I'm good. Because I know I couldn't get it at the time because I was in college. I had no money.
Man, you talk about nostalgia, bro. I remember on that PlayStation 1 disc I was talking about, all I remember was that time trial with that fucking red Corvette, bro.
Oh, yep.
That was the first Gran Turismo time trial with that red Corvette.
A lot of people don't realize, man, Gran Turismo was nice on the original PlayStation.
I'm trying to figure out what car I loved on Gran Turismo. I think it was the Lancer Evo.
Yep, the Lancer
Evo.
Evo.
Was it Lancer Evo 7?
Was the 7? Yep.
Yeah, that was the spoiler. Yeah.
Yep, with the red, with the spoiler. I used to get the red one. I still drive that car to this day.
Oh, I had mine in white. Like
mine was red. And the reason why I had one like that because I had a friend of mine that was in college. I guess his family like really, loved them or whatever. So he had one in college. So I used to like mimic that car. I thought it was really cool.
Bro, I'll never forget Hot Pursuit. I always used to drive that fucking Porsche around.
Hot Pursuit. The third one, Need for Speed 3, the El Nino. That used to be the car. I remember that.
Yeah.
I think I still got that game, Need for Speed 3, Hot Pursuit.
Man, demos are ass these days.
No, they're nothing like how they used to be. Like,
I mean, you get the whole game now for 10 hours on EA, but I mean, shit.
That's not a demo, though. I mean, I'm talking about like a demo when you knew you had half the game. It's like you knew you had half the game, but half the game felt like it was like so fun to play.
Are y'all surprised?
Like you felt like you got a good package.
Are y'all surprised that another company hasn't come up with a similar setup to EA Access?
Yeah, they have. Ubisoft did, and but Ubisoft is only on PC. If you go to Uplay, their launcher, they have one, and I think that's the only one because Ubisoft had like this $14.99 deal where you could play like Rainbow Six Siege, Far Cry, Watch Dogs. You could play all their games for $14.99 a month. They have the same thing. It's just on PC only though.
But is that the trial too.
No,
early.
No, because I can't. I'm gonna be honest, I can't say because most of their games aren't like demo based, like sports based. They just like come out. So
Right.
I don't think they have. I mean, I don't think they have demos, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. It's like with EA, obviously you get the game for 10 hours. So like I'm surprised that another.
Oh, you're talking about like the 10-hour trial before it's released? Yeah. No, they don't have that. No,
yeah,
the game when the game comes out, you just get the game. You get the whole game. Like it's kind of similar to it's basically it's not an EA Origins thing. It's kind of similar to Game Pass. Right. It's Ubisoft's version of Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of that, DJ, I downloaded No Man's Sky. It was on Game Pass, so.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at a couple other games on Game Pass. I was looking at they have MX versus the
ATV game. Yeah, the game we were talking about the other day.
Yeah, they have the last one from 2018. I was thinking about downloading that one, but I don't think they have.
Man, why not? It's free. Shit.
No, it's not. Oh, well, that was not free.
Oh, it's not okay.
Another one is free. They have a bunch of good games on Game Pass, but I kind of wanted to play that one. Then I saw Ride 3. Then I figured
play that.
I'm gonna wait for Ride 4 to come out. It's coming out in October.
Okay, that's cool. But I'm telling you, I'm playing Ride 3 right now. It takes a while to get used to the controls because, like, unlike Grand Theft Auto 5, motorcycles actually feel like motorcycles in the game.
I watched the gameplay. Yeah, I watched.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Unlike on Grand Theft Auto 5, they actually you have to learn how to control those. But once you control them, I love it. I'm having a blast. Shout out to LT. He the one that told me to get it, and I'm loving it right now.
Motorcycles drive on GTA 5 the way players run on Madden.
Wow.
In past years, they turn with no fucking loss of speed. It's like what?
Yeah, they drive just like cars. Like, what the
crazy,
hell?
Bro.
Like how much? Like Gran Turismo 4 had it right. I'm not Gran Turismo. Grand Theft Auto 4 had it right. How did you mess that up?
Every vehicle, really.
Right, every vehicle felt different. Like when you drove a truck, it felt different. A hoopty, it felt different. A fast car, it felt like Grand Theft Auto 5. No, like we don't.
Care. It's funny that you kind of see the difference in vehicles when you play State of K2. Like you got SUVs that have the weight and kind of like steer a certain way versus like a Jeep versus a regular car versus a regular little compact car. Yeah, that's a shame.
I need a
Roddy Bird. I'm sorry. Roddy Bird Gamer said, "Are you?" Oh, go ahead, Bills. Go ahead.
I was gonna say real quick. I need a simulation, like drive around the city type game, bro. Like I really do.
Back in the day, they had a whole bunch of games like that.
Yeah, like there aren't any out there right now. Like
wasn't there a game called Test Drive?
Test Drive was one of them. If you get Need for Speed, what Need for Speed that is? Is it the recent Most Wanted is like that?
Mm-hmm.
It is, but it still feels like Need for Speed.
What's the other game? Burnout Paradise is like that.
GTA better have the fucking GTA 4 driver. If they have that GTA 5 bullshit again, bro, I'm gonna be sick.
Well, what's that? Word Birdie says, "Are you guys into arcade? I have NFL Blitz and Madden Arcade. I'm into the arcade games, and I said I was going to start streaming them on sometime down the road because matter of fact, I might let the cat out of the bag now. Remember that game I said I was going to play the other day on my stream, DJ?
Mm-hmm.
It was actually going to be NFL. Yeah, I couldn't find it because my son took it in his room. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, it was NFL Blitz Pro for the original Xbox, and that game is actually pretty fun. It has an arcade style, but it plays way more sim than you would think. So that's one game I may stream one day down the road. And also, Chris Thomas says he's playing Yakuza series on Game Pass. It's another game a lot of people don't overlook. The only problem with that game is it's a lot of reading, but the action in the game is actually pretty good if you can keep up with the pace. The pace is kind of slow.
All right, let me go back and answer Work Birdie's question. I'm not as into arcade as I used to be. So I probably wouldn't be playing NFL Blitz or Madden Arcade anytime soon. So
what I say is based on the fact that WWE is only putting out an arcade game this year, I'm gonna get it. But the thing about arcade games with me is I'm kind of weird and NBA Street Volume 2, for example. Nobody played that game sim except me. I put the score up to 50. I take all the game breaker bullshit off. and I just play the game and I try to play it sim. So like,
Right.
it's kind of like back in the day when they had those WWE games, those, WrestleMania arcade and In Your House. Those
Right.
games are fun. They still have some elements of realism though. It's good to have a change of pace arcade game, but it's
I
like
mean, like,
it depends.
like the other day when we were streaming, I was playing NBA Jam on 360.
Right.
I play those games because I mean, I love sim games. I always played them, but I also grew up in the arcades where I actually played these games at the arcade, like the NBA Jams. Like I streamed NBA Jam the other night, last Sunday. I grew up on the NBA Jams and the NFL Blitzes and NHL Hits, Slugfest, WWE. Was that the arcade game? I grew up on those games, but I know, for me, I differentiate the two easily. It's not like I kind of never got away from them because it's a part of my childhood. And when it comes to just having fun and just being casually just playing the game, I love doing it. It's just,
but that's the one thing about arcade games. It ends up being like those games never suck unless they have a low character list, like a very small character list. The games usually don't suck. It's when you start trying to find sim in these games that they call sim that those games end up falling short. A lot of arcade games don't really end up sucking unless they have
well, they never take themselves serious. That's why,
Yeah, but then obviously there are certain things in a bad game that just are bad as far as like if you're playing a wrestling game and the targeting is all fucked up, right? But those games usually have great mechanics. Scott Smith said, "I'm low key excited for the yard. Been playing it on mobile. Little disappointed that it's not true 6v6. Let me tell you something. I know we're not really talking about the yard. I'm gonna play the yard if it's offline strictly. I will definitely give it a chance. It seems like something that I can have some fun with offline. If you can pick NFL superstars and put them on the team and play around, I'm all for it. But if it's online, no, I'm not interested. I said that on Twitter.
I would try to see what it plays like. I don't think it's
like blacktop mode to me in a way.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a type of game that I'm going, because to me, with NFL games that's arcade style, if it ain't, it has to be like NFL Blitz to me, and that's the only way I'll play arcade style football. Like even with Madden Arcade when that came out, and I recently re-downloaded it for my PS3, it feels more like an NFL Blitz game. That's why I'm okay. But now, if I don't know, it's just
what it is. Basically, Madden, basically the yard is like Live Run. Remember we played Live Run?
Yeah,
that's basically what it is.
Yeah, I that's a pretty good comparison, and I'm gonna try it out once it comes out, because I'm not gonna seriously say I'm not gonna play it, but I'll try it because it's a game. I'm always into like any type of football game in general. And you never know, I might like it more than I actually like Madden. I doubt it, but
I mean, I look. We know. Me and DJ know what to expect from Madden 21 gameplay wise. That's why I'm waiting for you to play it, because I think you're really gonna like it.
I mean, I like 20, so I mean,
well, no, I mean even more than 20, like by far.
I was saying I like 20, so I'm pretty sure I probably like 21.
Yeah,
and everybody knows where I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna be just waiting until the week later 2K comes out and I can get into that. So you guys will have plenty of fun.
Like I said, I'm not a big proponent of saying bad things about Madden 20. I actually enjoyed it. Like, my stance. So, like, if they had a decent franchise mode, I'll probably still be playing it to this day. It's one thing I liked about 25, because 25 had a pretty good gameplay, and the franchise mode was actually okay. It was good enough. To me, I feel like it was better than what it is now. So I was okay with that. And I just need that experience again. I need a balance of both. I need good gameplay, and the modes need to keep me going and make it feel like I'm achieving something instead of just playing a bunch of play now games. Because I don't know how people do it. They just play a bunch of head-to-head play now, and it feels like it's no sense of accomplishment, in my opinion.
I saw somebody tweet out the last good franchise mode in Madden was Madden 05. I'm tired of people saying stupid shit.
Nah, I think honestly, I think it could be 12 or maybe 17.
For me, it was 12.
For me, it was after 05.
06?
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm still playing 08, so 08 is
Oh
I like
wait, I would say '08 probably had the best balance of gameplay and franchise
a
mode
lot of people don't
at
realize
that point. Because at that point, man, '08 still had the Vision Cone and a lot of everything that made it more immersive gameplay wise, and also stuff that happened in the franchise mode made it immersive there too.
I mean, even on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, you had like a workout session in franchise mode where you actually had to lift weights and run to 40. You still had to you still had drills and stuff that you could do in Madden 08. Matter of fact, one day I might stream that one day so we can look at that. Like you actually had like situations where you had one-on-one drills with wide receivers versus defensive backs.
But it just
you actually had that.
It annoys me when people let their emotions turn them into fucking idiots, because I was looking at the Maximum Football 2020 interview and I was trying to see if there was any gameplay and there wasn't, so I just skipped through it, right?
Yeah.
Some dumbass goes and puts already looks better than Madden, right? So I go and I say, so the game that hasn't shown any gameplay looks better than Madden. It's always funny to find the blind Madden haters that say foolish shit just for the sake of hating. Somebody said, get out of here. It's about putting pressure on Madden. I said, there's zero gameplay, yet bots are coming and saying it looks better than Madden. This idiotic blind hate that people are calling putting pressure on Madden. Brain dead thought process. And that's my thing. How you putting pressure on Madden by saying some stupid shit like Maximum Football 20, which hasn't shown a lick of gameplay, looks better than Madden? You've already admitted it doesn't look graphically better than Madden. So in what way does it look better than Madden? That's not putting pressure on Madden. That's saying stupid shit on YouTube.
Well, put it like this. Like, what are the chances that the people at EA is looking at that tweet to say they're putting pressure on Madden by tweeting that out?
I look at it like this. The fact that the creators of that game are not even thinking of it as putting pressure on Madden, why are they?
That tells you everything you need to know.
Scroll through the comments and all you see is people talking about Madden, and it just lets me know that these dumbasses are more fixated on Madden than a good football game, period.
This is what I like about Maximum Football. Even they know what people want in a franchise mode, and they're trying to deliver it. They're not trying to say they're better than whatever. They're just trying to put stuff in a product that people want. Now, when you think about consumerism versus people who are people that are putting out a product, that is exactly what people want. They want you to put stuff that they want in a game. It has nothing to do with Madden. They don't even care about that. They just want stuff that the audience, they want to put things in the game that the audience want. I don't see where the problem is with that.
But it's just funny because then you ask these people logical questions and they have no answer. Like I said, he said, oh, as a franchise player, and then he went into that whole spiel, right? And then he said, people getting tired of EA's crap. I said, so getting tired of EA's crap translates into staying stupid shit? And then he goes, what has anybody said in this thread that was stupid? I said, you mean like how a game with no gameplay that you admitted doesn't have better graphics looks better than Madden? And he didn't fucking respond.
Because I mean, that made no sense. It made absolutely no sense what he was talking about.
It's the blind hate. Just like, I'll give you another example of people saying stupid shit. I showed this to DJ the other day. The dumbass that came to Scott OG's post and said,
yeah, that was crazy.
You don't know anything. You didn't know anything about Tex Winter before he died. And you probably just learned, he didn't even say probably, and you learned about him in the Jordan documentary.
All right, whatever.
Like,
well, no, keep going because it gets better.
So I said, okay, I'm going to find a post back in 2018 of me talking about Tex Winter. He goes and says, see, that's my point. They showed a tribute of him and you reposted the video. So there, I was right. I'm like, no, you weren't. You said I didn't know anything about him, but I posted about him in 2018. Like, that's what I'm saying. People say stupid shit. It's like, just because he's fucking 40 years old and doesn't know shit about basketball and didn't learn about Tex Winter until the fucking Jordan documentary doesn't mean that I was the same way. It's like people take their ignorance and try to put it on other people. It's fucking crazy. It's like, oh, I didn't know that the numbers on the toaster meant minutes, not level of toastiness. so that means nobody else knew it either. No, you're just a fucking idiot. Like I don't get how these people. Oh my god, bro!
And it's funny, funny, for that guy to be around my age and say some stupid shit like that. And I'm just like, man, all that person had to do is just pick up a book back in the day, the Jordan rules, everything you needed to know about Tex. If you didn't hear about him beforehand, you would have heard about him in that book because Jordan loved that guy.
I talked to you about Tex Winter, like one of the first conversations we had when we met, like way back. Like we talked all of this shit. I talked to B5 and Apex about it in a separate call. I've known about Tex Winter for a long fucking time. For somebody to come and tell me what I know or don't know, and they've never followed me, they don't know shit about me. It's those internet trolls that are just like,
I'm about to say,
and it's funny.
Twitter.
Even when you watch the games back then, his name was being brought up alongside Phil Jackson. It wasn't like it was like, oh, Phil Jackson with this great offense. They would be like, nope. And Tex Winters is the creator of this offense, and Phil Jackson is running it. Because I'm like, yeah, the documentary even put it out that because Phil Jackson had an offensive system. Obviously, it didn't work. So he had to adopt what Tex Winters was doing. Tex was like, I got this offense that I was trying to push through with Doug Collins, and it didn't work because they liked Doug Collins, or Doug Collins just refused to go with it. So I'm gonna try it again.
That's like me saying that's like when I told people, I'm like, you know, George Clinton doesn't get enough credit for the West Coast era. You don't know anything about George Clinton. I said, okay, all right, man. Like I'm not having this discussion with y'all because it's like, y'all literally don't know shit. But y'all want to tell me what I don't know because I'm bringing up an obscure name, obscure to you. It's like, it's crazy. It's like people take their experiences and they take their lack of knowledge and want to pin it on somebody else because they didn't think of the comment first. It's fucking crazy.
Yep.
You know, it's funny.
Didn't even make an actual comment on Scott OG's post of start, bench, and cut. He just came to troll like a fuking idiot who was a waste of life and should have been swallowed.
Wow.
Let's go to the next topic. Let's go to the next topic when we're talking about Last of Us PermaDeath. That's back in games. I can't remember what the last game that really had it was. What, Resident Evil?
Well, actually, I'm like, as far as major games, but when you're talking about PermaDeath, it's actually in a lot of games now. Like but the thing is, you usually have multiple characters, and even the upcoming Watch Dogs is gonna have PermaDeath in it.
Okay.
So
I remember playing PermaDeath games back in Resident Evil, like it was Resident Evil 1, the old one for PS1, and a lot of games back in the 8-bit era had them.
Right. So a lot of the games that have PermaDeath now, they have multiple characters you can control. So it's not really PermaDeath. It's just that character is gone and that's it.
Right.
So this one coming up with The Last of Us 2, they just patched in the grounded mode, which everyone was waiting for. I guess a lot of people were waiting for because the first game had what was that?
What exactly is that? Because I'm not familiar with it.
It's just it's a harder version of the game.
It's the hardest part of the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So PermaDeath is a step below, or what's
no. PermaDeath is not the mode. It's a feature within the mode that you can turn on and off. You basically have
PermaDeath is like you got one life.
Oh, so ground is the difficulty. Got you.
Yeah, grounded is the difficulty.
Because basically, grounded it makes everything as scarce as possible. The enemies as dangerous as possible. Up to this highest point, it also reduces the HUD.
And progress doesn't save, basically.
If you do PermaDeath, and they have 3 types of PermaDeath. They have PermaDeath whole game. Oh, God. PermaDeath by chapter and PermaDeath by checkpoint.
Because I know they have PermaDeath. The first time I heard PermaDeath was No Man's Sky when you talked about it, and I'm like, yeah, I suck at this game. I'm never doing that shit. Oh, Last of Us. You know, it seems like it would be an adrenaline rush, but nah, man, I couldn't do it.
That's a little too much for, especially for the whole game. That would be rough.
Somebody already started there first, and
that didn't go well.
It didn't go well at all. Especially,
I had to go back and look at that. I was like, okay.
Man. Oh, that must have been what you're talking about with Jack Move Johnny.
Yeah. No.
It was BG.
Oh, it's BG.
Yeah, so the L of the day goes to Broken Games HD. I'm sorry, but I admire the fact that you're gonna stream this, but my God, really?
He didn't know what he was getting into.
No. It's not. No, yeah, that's the thing. See, it's not. He originally played The Last of Us grounded mode with the limited HUD. He knows what he's getting into, but
No, that PermaDeath thing he did.
Well, no. He knew PermaDeath, but as far as what happened to end that PermaDeath run,
What happened?
there's no okay. So he's at the part where Dina, is her name Dina? I guess.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
helps
Dina.
Ellie up on the trailer,
that don't help.
well, she helped her up on the trailer, and they hopped down,
Tell me
and
he
then
pressed the button by mistake, and killed himself.
yeah, that's what winds up happening because he crawls through underneath the trailer with Ellie, and all of a sudden the zombie attacks him, and then he supposedly is hitting the square button. Then all of a sudden his screen goes to the PS home screen, and then he pops out of it, and all of a sudden his character dies, and that's it. And then he's like, "Man, I accidentally hit the home button."
He hit the home screen instead of the the square button.
And the thing is, it's like I'm looking at it like you must be a fucking alien if you mistakenly hit the home button when you're supposed to be hitting the square button. I'm like, what type of?
I played Limbo, and I told you I played that game to back. Man, I swear to God, if there was permadeath in that game, I probably would have kicked a hole through my fucking TV. That's how frustrating that game was. Now, I don't know if there's any other RPG that's, well, I should say, well, yeah, I don't know if there's any other RPG that's that frustrating, but it's kind of like Cuphead. Like, if Cuphead had some permadeath shit where it just sends you to the beginning.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because the
go through my TV. And I'm not one of the people to get angry about games, but, oh my God, I'd be mad.
So it was just, I'm sitting there, I even picked up the PS4 controller. I'm sitting there like the way I hold it. I'm just
how
like,
could you do that?
Yeah, I'm like,
doesn't everybody hold the controller damn near the same way?
No. Everybody holds their different ways, and I think
there are different ways to do it.
BG actually earlier in the year said he holds his controller differently than normal people do. He holds his where where I think the thumb may be underneath the analog stick or whatever, and he kind of has his index finger over the buttons, but has it's like an alien like configuration.
Like if I was my controller up right now, I can tell you exactly. Like I hold it basically. I got my right index finger, my left index finger on the trigger.
On the triggers. That's where I have mine.
And then I have my thumbs do all the button pressing. And then literally all of the rest of my fingers are pretty much just gripping the back of the controller.
Yep. That's the way I have it.
That's the way I do it. Yep.
So when I was holding my original way, I was like, "There's no way this dude panicked and just hit the pause button, hit the home button by accident." And then he came out, he was like, "Well, my left thumb slipped off the." I'm like, "What's your left thumb doing in it's a QTE event. What's your left thumb doing anything or sitting anywhere where it could possibly slip off and hit?" That means
on the other side of the controller.
But his left thumb is right there. But the thing is, it's a quick time event. You're supposed to be tapping the square. What is your left hand even being involved in the process in the first place? You can just slide it off to the side away from the and then hit the square.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, look,
I don't know.
look, all I gotta say is that he panicked, even though it didn't look like he panicked because he has a deadpan, expressionless face whenever he does anything. And well, he's in a way he's kind of like me, but I have a little bit more expressions. But the thing is, he panicked, hit the wrong button. He just didn't want to admit it, and now even in that stream, he was just like, I'm gonna ban everybody. I'm gonna block everybody because if people are gonna tell me I'm saying excuses and blah blah. I was just like, dude,
all right, same
whatever,
same
right?
For y'all, based on this topic.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know a fair amount of gamers. Obviously, like I don't exactly know their temperament when they're gaming. We might have talked about this before, but kind of want to go over it again because we have a lot of new listeners.
Now we're talking about gatekeeping gamers, or
no.
I know, but that was a topic we went over.
I think we talked about that, but like just as far as your temperament, like. Is there any time where you literally get mad at a game
I will tell you one time that I did.
While you're playing video games.
I will tell you one time that I did. I was playing the arcade version of King of Fighters 94, and this guy named Mickey, was it King of Fighters? It was either King of Fighters 94 or Art of Fighting, one of the two. But this guy named Mickey with this nasty uppercut was kicking my ass in that game. This had to be like 98, 99.
Now, I mean, like, that's what I meant. Like,
no, recently, no. I'm telling you, I didn't get mad at games unless if it was back in the day when difficulty really meant games were difficult. But now, hell no.
Yeah, I don't really get mad at games, no matter what genre it is. I'm like, I've always learned that there was a separation between what to feel about a game versus feeling in the game. And one of the things that I've always looked at when something happened, the first place I look is at myself. I'm like, what did I do wrong?
So
I want to go beat Mickey's ass now just for that.
Wow.
I'm glad. Yep. I remember. I think it was King KOF 94. Man, that dude was like relentless. I couldn't stand that guy.
So what I'll say is, offline games, I don't get mad really ever. I'll just take the L, and unless I feel like I was cheated by the game in some way, and even then, it's just kind of one of those things where you just sit and laugh it off. Like, I can't believe that just happened. But I'm not gonna lie, man. Some of these motherfuckers you run into in Call of Duty, man.
Oh, come on, that goes back to the 360 days, though.
But that's saying, it's like, for me, I didn't used to get mad. It's in reverse for me. When I was a kid and I was playing Call of Duty, I didn't used to get mad. I used to be the person that people would get mad at because I was a running gunner and they'd be camping and I'd be able to overcome it, and the hit detection was dope. But on this Modern Warfare game and on World War II, man, sometimes it's like a split second, but it's like, bro, some of the shit I be saying in the moment, like, I get heat because these dudes just find these exploits. And it gets fucking annoying, and then you get off kilter, so then you miss aim and you fuck up yourself, and it's just like it's like a split second. I don't really rage quit, but it gets me heated sometimes. But that's like the only time. I would never be playing a sports game and get fucking pissed off about it. But Call of Duty is different because Call of Duty will literally just cheat you sometimes. And then they'll go and lie on the kill cam after the fact. And that's what pisses me off. It's like, you'll think you're behind a corner, and you are behind that corner. And then the Call of Duty will show the fucking kill cam, and, oh, no, your leg's sticking out. Like, get the fuck out. No, it's not. So, yeah, that's when I get pissed off, is really that.
All right, let's see. Chris Thomas says, if you want to play a game that makes you want to throw your controller out the window, play Sekiro. Shadows Die twice. Wordy Bird Gaming says Sekiro was easy work. Scott Smith says, I play DayZ. The permadeath is what makes the game stressful. I can spend days with the character and get a nice gear and then get killed from an illness or run into another player. I agree with this one, Chris. SNK fighting games is a no-go, especially fighting the final boss. SNK fighting games are just relentless. Can't stand those damn games. But I still play them. Wordy Bird Gaming says, you guys use gaming routers because that helps with games like that. I actually thought about getting a gaming router for my online gaming. I just never.
It's not even a connection. It's just people play like some bitches, bro.
Right. That's not even. Yeah. Because as of right now, I have mine hooked up hard. I have mine hardwired to my router. So,
right.
Like, for me. But again, I don't really get mad over stuff like that. If anything, I think the closest I've come is probably to participating in trash talk, and that was during the Modern Warfare days and on the 360 and stuff like that, when people were just going ham on each other.
That's when everybody was. That's when you had a legit chat room and everybody was in it.
It only happens with me when I'm playing in a lobby with my friends, because I get overly competitive when I'm playing with my friends. Like, I get overly competitive. I'm playing by myself. I'm like, I'm just gonna put on another game. But like, when I set up and it's like me and Jomar going to play, or me and Cody going to play, or all three of us, God forbid, like, there's times where our team will be garbage and we'll be bringing them back, and then either a teammate will do some stupid shit or somebody will be camping, bro.
All right.
It's like infectious. Like all three of us just get heated. He's like, fuck this. Like,
All right.
So DF got some.
Let's find out. Let's find out if I'm a choke in this game. All right. I'm up 82-80 with 5 seconds left. New Mexico about to inbound the ball.
Anybody want to take bets? Oh yeah, it's up. I'm looking at it now.
It's 82-80 right now. I've been playing the game the entire time, but it's 5 seconds left, and they're about to inbound the ball. Let's see what happens.
5 seconds left.
Yep, 5 seconds left. They're about to get the ball now.
Watch some bullshit about to happen.
Oh, we got the ball.
I told you some bullshit was about to happen.
You know, the one thing I've had trouble with a lot of times was intercepting passes.
He tried to pass it inside for a quick layup, and I intercepted. Then I missed the layup. Oh my God! 3 seconds. 2. 1.
Oh no! What happened?
Oh, I missed the layup. I mean,
you missed a free throw.
Yeah, I missed the free throw. And
wow, VF about to choke.
No, they ain't about to score. It's a ball game.
Yeah, they're gonna have to.
Watch him
go in.
Oh! He almost made that shit, yo. All right.
I mean, Work is part of that, but bro, remember, people hacked that game too and play with mouse and keyboard, all kind of bullshit.
Oh yeah.
It's not just software. It's not just connection. It's a lot of shit, bro. Like literally, they put out a statement pleading with people, begging them to stop cheating on Warzone. They're begging.
Yeah, they did.
Begging people. Like, come on, man.
Didn't they?
Damn it, go Eagles! God damn it, we won another one.
You go back to Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2, all those games are crazy hacked at this point. You got motherfuckers get 1 kill and they got the highest kill streak in the game.
Yeah. That's always been an issue with those games, though. You know what I mean? It's always been an issue with hacking and stuff like that.
Be a soft hole sports tweet.
No, but I'm sure you checked out the picture. It's not even about the person who tweeted it. It's the fact that in the background you got people doing the Jesus Bynum stance.
Oh yeah, they're doing the Jesus Bynum stand in the back of the yard. Yeah, I saw that.
And you know, in the last couple of years, that Jesus Bynum glitch has popped up. Even in one of my games when I was playing Madden, I posted it on Twitter. I could probably go and find it if I wanted to. But yeah.
Damn, what if dude would have made that shot from back there though?
I figured some BS was gonna happen. I
ain't moment on this fucking podcast ever.
It was right off the rim too. It was right off the rim too. He could have made that. That's crazy. But yo, that was NCAA basketball 10. Just find something to play. But anybody got any Q&A? Because I got a couple of things I wanna share with you guys before we finish. PermaDeaths. I may try Last of Us 2 PermaDeath. I gotta beat the game first, don't I? But I need to do. I may try it. I'm going to play NBA 2K21 current gen. I mean, I'm going to play it.
Yep.
Yeah, I pretty much decided I'm going to get it because I deleted. Breaking news: I deleted NBA 2K20 from my hard drive before this podcast. So yeah, usually when I delete a sports game from the past year, it means I'm getting the new one. Usually. You know, so yeah, I'm probably gonna end up getting it, which is a complete reversal of how I felt.
I don't see why not. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I would say get it at a cheap price, but most of the people that listen to us, they want to know. You didn't want to know our thoughts about it, and that's not.
I talked to DJ about yesterday. That's kind of why I changed them. Like I know people are probably gonna want me to stream 2K. And so
yeah,
as far as
you're trying to get your
PGA
streaming going, so gotta get something everybody's gonna pull.
Yeah, exactly. As far as 2K21 golf, I'm definitely buying that. When I first saw that, I knew that was a day one purchase.
No.
Shut up, Bills. I'm buying that day one.
When's it coming out again? Is it next week?
I think it is next week. I think it's next week. I never remembered the date, but I think it's next week.
Yeah,
August
what?
August 21st. So
okay, it is next week. Then yeah, I'm getting it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up because I mean, I've been playing the golf club, not lately, but that's the last one I played. And I'm like, I need not a next gen, but a current gen golf game. I tried to play Roy McIlroy, and I was like, I'll keep that on the back burner because I like the presentation of it. Like it has like the NBC presentation. So if I really want to play it, I'll keep that on my PS4, download it. And also, I advise anybody if they can find a real copy of it, get it, because I don't think EA is going to make another golf game ever again. That may be a pretty good game to keep. But I need a current one that actually goes along with the PGA Tour. So definitely getting that.
I don't know what I'm reading from. I mean, I don't like what I'm reading, even though I'm not getting the game anyway. But for the sim heads, y'all might not like some of the shit that y'all.
What are you talking about?
They got rid of something that I think was very important in skill gap, which was backswing tempo. They removed it.
I'm gonna try.
Because gameplay is more accessible, which accessible usually means they're making it easier. And I don't.
Yeah. Like I'm still gonna hit it because most of the time with golf games, I'm not saying I'm that deep in simulation when it comes to golf games because I don't play them that much. But I'm from the school from where I used to play, Lynx 2004 or Tiger Woods, and they had it in it, but it never was a defining fact of me actually playing on a realistic level. So I still will give it. I'll give it a shot.
Make the pros playable and get back to it.
I still love playing Lynx 2004 though. That's another game I'm gonna probably play on a retro night. That's a really good game. Work Buddy game and ask, do you guys do VR? I don't play with VR. I'm good.
Nah, I don't have any VR. I think the last VR thing I had was on my old phone. I forgot what VR system I had, but not really, not for gaming. Even though No Man's Sky you can play in VR, but I'm not spending the money to get.
Yeah, that's like a $300 device, right?
Yeah, you might as well just save that for another console or save up some more to get a PC.
By the way, side note, fuck the Memphis Grizzlies. All right.
Did they lose?
They won.
And that whole ass has only won 3 games in the bubble, and they had to come out and you know who else? Fuck Giannis too. All right, because if Giannis dumbass didn't get suspended, he would have played tonight, and they would have smoked the Grizzlies. But no, the fraud ass Bucks had to go and fraud up, and Memphis won. So now they're gonna be in the fucking playing game, and they have a chance to make the playoffs. I wanted to see either Portland or Phoenix. Now these clowns still have a chance. Portland better win. That's all I'm saying. And fuck the Memphis Grizzlies. Fuck them.
What he said.
Q&A.
Nobody has any questions? Anybody? No. Yay, nay. One thing I will say, I do appreciate everybody who do listen to us 2 days out of the week. I really appreciate that. A lot of people may not think that people on the average between 10 and 20 people listen to us. I think that's a big deal, especially with the fact that it is 2 days out of the week. We actually do more podcasts than other podcast people out here, and for you guys to consistently come, not get burnt out by us, we do appreciate that. I don't know how to say this, but
we don't have anything.
No, I do have something to say, but I don't know how to say it. But I think I showed it to y'all in the DMs though a while back. But I will say it's not up and running yet. But I did create a Patreon for the First and Framerates. It's not up and running yet. I still want to get the temperature of the crowd and what everybody may think of it. As far as your option to donate to us, if possible. We already said from the beginning we would never ask for money here. We don't want you to click any button to open your wallet. We always want to keep it out there as an option. But we haven't made the option yet. I have it up. It's still locked behind the website wall, so you can't just go look for it and find it. It's just something that I want to wait maybe in the next couple of weeks, maybe a month, to get the feel of what people may think about it. So just saying it's out there. So just to give y'all a heads up, something to think about in the back of your mind, so we don't just throw it on y'all like, hey, we're broke, give us money. No, it's not like that. It's always been about like a choice and as an option. There's some people out here. It's some people out here that just basically want to thrive off of that, and we don't want to thrive off that unless we give you a service on the back end. So just let you guys know that we are in talks of doing it. I already have it up. If it doesn't feel like it's a good move, it will stay behind the website wall. But that's one thing that is out there. Also, the streams. I have it to where me personally, and I know DJ as well, and we're going to get bills on it as well. We do have it to where, well, I have it to where I have a pretty good balance on where everything is right now on the gaming, the YouTube, and my personal life, to where I can actually stream more. Like right now, streaming is nothing but a click of a button right now. So anytime when I decide to, like, say I want to play a game, and like boom, I can stream. Like for instance, like right here, I wouldn't recommend doing this because StreamYard is terrible when it comes to quality. But see, I can just easily hit this, and I'm streaming a video game right now. So I can do it if need be. So with that being said, we're gonna, well, I know me, and I'm pretty sure DJ as well, and I know Bill's, his schedule's a little different, but I'm pretty sure he's committed to it as well. We're gonna start giving you guys not only just our personal streams. I also wanted to put out like real gameplay streams where all three of us can get together and talk about one game as it is in action. I know we talked about that a while back, like saying we play Madden, one of us play Madden, we'll put it up on the screen, and we all talk about the plays that we run and why they do or why they do not work. Especially, I think this would be a good idea with NBA 2K, with times when Scott O'Gallagher is in the building with us, or he's in the chat. He could watch us do the same thing, and he can give us pointers of what needs to be done, what is done wrong, what is done right. So those are the steps that we're taking. Also, I'm in the process. I'm really in the process now of getting some clothing wear done for First and Framerates. My wife, I bought a machine for her where she can screen print shirts and stuff. I'm still looking at Teespring. I looked into them. I kind of like what they do. I don't like the cut that they take, but I like what they do. So I actually looked into them. It'll be easy to go that route. But also, my wife already said she want to make shirts for us. So those things are always those are in the making. I also talked to another a company that actually do screen printing. They just want too much money on the front end. So I'm like, the options are there, but at the end of the day, everything is here for you guys who listen. I wanted to be here for you guys listen. If you ever like, it'd always be optional for you guys to say, hey, I want to donate to you guys for what you guys doing. I want to be a Patreon. We're still testing the waters on that, but that will be just an option. We're not begging or asking. But when it comes to us putting out like real products like t-shirts, or let's say, for instance, if we want to put out like streams or whatever that actually give us a lot more time than for us to just actually sit here and say, hey, we're just running our mouth, we may just put that out there. But that's something that we will talk behind the scenes. I mean, we've been doing it for a few weeks now, but like I said, it's already up and running. It's on the back end. And as long as you guys are like, give us a thumbs up and say, I'm okay with it. Can't do it, but I'm okay with it just as an option. Maybe, down the road, I'll be able to be a Patreon, or I'll be able to donate or whatever. It'll be there. But I wanted to know if it's going to be there. Is it okay to be there instead of just us throwing it in you guys' faces, and all of a sudden you have like some type of, a feeling funny with us because like all of a sudden, oh, these broke niggas need money now. No, it ain't going to be like that. It's going to be where you guys actually have the input on that.
Now,
I kind of rambled a lot. DJ, you can go ahead and
because Work Birdie just said it's a good move. Just don't separate the content behind the paywall, and that's been the sticking point for like anything, even like with Xbox Live services and PSN services, is that they hide multiplayer behind the paywall. When on PC you can play multiplayer games for free. So yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, on this channel, I can't, and I already know the answer with DJ's in Twitch channel and Bills with his Twitch channel. We would never want to do that, to put gameplay or put any type of content behind a paywall. Because I know some people say, oh, get an exclusive video for doing it. No, it's like, look, we're just trying to grow what we have here. And I don't want anybody to feel left out because, especially in this day and age, times is hard. People can't do things like they want to do. So with that being said, I wouldn't want to do that. So no, that's a no-go. Bills, you got anything on top of that?
No, I mean, I'm just glad that folks are coming to the podcast at a higher rate now, and we've got a very loyal fan base, and I think it's dope. And once we figure out our streaming schedule and a way for us to, like you said, all break down plays on the podcast, I think it's gonna be dope, because even that little segment, that little mini segment right there with the last 5 seconds of your game was dope. I mean, that's that we can implement into the podcast, and I think people would want to see, especially on a day like today when we don't really have many topics.
Right.
So, right, and that's another thing. Like I said, what I was saying about the whole thing with the paywall thing, it would never be a paywall. The whole thing will be just straight optional. You know, the Patreon is optional. If we ever decide to put our PayPals up or Cash Apps or whatever, that is strictly optional. If you don't do it, that's fine. We're still going to continue to do what we do, but you know, with that being said, it's like, if anybody ever have the desire to do so, they will have the option. Because for once, the one reason why I really put it up there, I know Put Them in the Game said it, a couple other people that DM me personally and said, hey, look, do you guys have a way where we can, the person who DMs, can donate and support you guys? I was like, no, that's not our thing. It's nothing, but it's gotten to the point where enough people have asked for us to at least put the option out there instead of just saying all of a sudden, hey, times is hard and we need to do this. Because I mean, like I said, it's nothing for me to just walk in this room right here and just play a video game and just have my leisure time to play a game. Why can't I just cut on a few more apps and click live and talk in a microphone? You know, to me, I don't see where the differentiation between playing a video game or just having fellowship with you guys. So, you know, some people really take this to heart where they feel like it's like a job for them. And personally, I feel sorry for them and not take nothing away from them, but to me, this is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be something where you can enjoy. When you start to make these type of things your livelihood or your job, I think you lose all the passion of actually having fun. And that's what First and Framerates was about. Yeah, that's what First and Framerates was about from the beginning. Me and Bills got together and was like, look, we're going to talk and actually speak our mind and enjoy ourselves. We're not sitting here just saying like, oh, we're trying to make a career out of it. If anything comes out on the back end, the way where we profit from it, that's just because it's the thanks to you guys for, you know, giving us that that type of service in return, and we would appreciate it. But it's not our thing, you know. So I just put it out there, and I just wanted to let you guys know to keep it in the back of your mind for the next couple of weeks. Maybe it'll go live, maybe it won't. Just depends on what you guys how you guys feel about it. I will be putting it up on Twitter, just to see how other people may think. I may talk about it in another video as well, because everybody may not have gotten this far in this live stream to actually listen, which they should, but that's another story for another day.
The haters popping up after we posted, like, you should have never gave you niggas money.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, get out of here. You wasn't gonna give us money anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good, but it's just an option. Like I said, I talked to my wife about it. My wife basically had the same sentiments as Work Birdie said, like, you know, you put it out there, leave it as an option. If people love you, they'll do it. If not, you gotta keep it moving, you know, and that's what we've been doing from day one. You know, we're 166 episodes in. You know, I hope people understand that we are passionate about this, and you know, we want to just keep it as an option. But as far as everything on the other end, I really want to put out something where these two guys, DJ and Bills, actually get something from it, because they don't have to be here. You know, this is a project that I wanted to do, and at one point it was just going to be me by myself, and I called up on Bills and DJ came in on the back end, and this is where we are.
Wow,
but
you gotta stop saying coming up on the back end because you
Like,
just said it
fucking
3
gay,
times.
man.
I just wanted to just jump in, but like pause, just
Yeah,
hold it
fucking
up for a
gay, man.
second.
Come on,
I
man.
was just saying you saying it way too much. So
This ain't the man-to-man podcast, all right?
No, see,
whoa, there's 3 of us in here, so I don't know.
now see,
I'm just
now
saying.
see, you did not have to do that. You did not have
I'm
to
just
go
saying.
there. 3 episodes in a row, we
Hey,
talking
I'm
about.
just, I'm just making you aware. Just making you
No, it ain't
aware.
you, DJ. Bills know what he did. It ain't you. Bills know what he did.
Look, in all fairness, we ended the podcast talking about that shit like 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And it was one of the funniest endings of the podcast. I mean,
No, but man, but like all seriousness, like we did this out of the passion and of us loving, but really just loving football gaming, not necessarily Madden. We started this because of we wanted to give a different alternative and a different outlook on the community. Because one thing for certain, this community has a lot of has a lot of ego and a lot of animosity and a lot of underlying hatred. And I hate to say
and
I hate
also
to say it like that, but it's there.
and also a bunch of dick eaters.
Well, I'm not going to. Didn't we just say we're going to get away from that? And you
I'm
just go.
well, when
I'm just saying it's out there.
when your nickname is Nubby,
But
that's what happens.
yeah, it's just that we wanted to show you guys that you have people in this community that actually want to play games. We want the games to be better, and we find the positive in the games as well as the negatives. And we sit here and we play these games as if that they're close to real life as possible, and we just enjoy it. So like that 82-80 game, that college game I just played, that wasn't like we said before when OG was in the chat with us. I mean, he was on the podcast with us. That was 20-minute halves in a college game. Like I play straight up, so there's no fluke about what we say. We really want an authentic experience, and we want to show the people who listen to us that they got that same, they can get that same experience as well. If you're not alone when it comes to stuff like that. So
You know what would have been funny when I was streaming that test stream with NBA 2K. That by that 3rd quarter, I had already put it out there. I was just like, well, if Boston's gonna stay up by 20 or more, I'm cutting this stream. That almost happened, and then Charlotte cut it. Charlotte cut it to like 13, and then it was like, all right, well, we played the 4th quarter. Then it went back up by 20. I was like, God damn it, Hornets.
Man,
buzzing around and got buzzed off at the
tell
end.
you what would have been some classic content if me and VF would have live streamed us playing that live run shit.
Oh,
yeah, see, exactly.
God.
But that was fun though. That was fun.
It was fun, but it was just hilarious. Like there was something funny that would happen every single game, whether it was some crazy ass layup animation or just like it was just funny. Like we really made the most out of that mode because Live 16, quite frankly, fell short of expectations. But that
speaking of that,
fun.
Speaking of that, Live 16, their servers are going down this week. Like they're shutting the servers down.
That's a long time coming.
Yeah,
like
but
servers going down, the game went down. What else is new?
Because I think Live 16 servers are going down. Madden 25 on the PS3,
and plus, plus it's live
going down this week.
Wait a minute, and plus it's Live 16. Who cares anyway? This is probably the worst, one of the worst lives besides 14. And
Hey, 16 was bad. 16 was terrible. Oh my god.
15 still the GOAT.
That Westbrook looked like a Ninja Turtle.
No, man. We appreciate you guys, man. We really do. It's nothing but love, and we got a lot of things coming. You know, I got things managed from here in the room more where everything is on a whim now. If I want to stream any of my consoles, I can do it within the next like 30 seconds. So the retro streams are going to be going up and going. I got College Hoops 2K8 about to fired up on Mondays. Saturdays, I'm probably going to still do NCAA 14 Georgia Southern. Also, maybe Sunday morning, I may still do my regular random streams where I just be talking. So throughout that area, we still you have content from me, and you also have videos every now and then. So that's the move. And I know DJ's doing this thing as well. And I
Mhm.
know Bills will get in where he fits, and wherever he goes, I'll probably move my stuff around so we won't step on each other's toes. And everybody who's listening to us, or people who are interested, they can get us at our own individual time.
See, and the funny thing is, the thing about streaming on Twitch, the way it's set up, well, one, you get a visual representation of our schedules. Unlike YouTube, who has yet to progress to the 2020 whatever. I know Twitch did they changed that up like a few years ago, but still, the fact that Twitch has it that you can just put your schedule out there. People have a home site or your page to go to just to view your schedule and do all sorts of things. And then the as far as coordinating schedules, being able to like have streams, like if let's say VF, you and I are streaming, like you'll stream at let's just example 1 o'clock to like 3, and then if I were to start streaming around like a little before 3 and before, you literally could send your people to my stream.
Right, exactly.
YouTube, you can't do that. They literally would have to go on their own. So it actually makes it more convenient for the viewers to be able to go in between two people that are actually operating on the same. So that's why I was just like, yeah, we need to get back on Twitch as far as like our individual streams. So it would better coordinate not just for us, the content creators, but also the viewers being able to just be like, oh, I get used. He'll have to do is just send me here, boom. All he has to do
Yeah,
is send me there. Boom. They
and
don't
that's
have to
one of
do anything.
Right, and that's one of the reasons why I went back and I did my test run on Twitch. Because I mean, you made a good point when you said that not too long ago about
Hmm.
the perks that Twitch has. Because I was on Twitch like exclusively at one time, and then I went back to the YouTube, and like now I have the way I can do it on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, where I could just whichever one I want to use, I can use at the time. So I
Right.
think I'm going to get back to that, and at the end of the day, people want to watch us, and we really do appreciate it, and that's where we're going to continue to just try to get that out the way so we can have more things streamlined for you guys as far as gaming goes. I think we not necessarily owe it to y'all, but the fact that you guys want us to do it, I think that's where we can, we come in and we'll be able to provide that. So I think everything's on the up and up on that end. I didn't put this out here earlier, but I know most of you guys already have done it, but join the Discord if you can. Definitely. There's a little bit more activity than the past few weeks. There's a little more activity now, so
I need to turn my notifications on for Discord because I have all my notifications turned off. I literally like when I'm away from the computer or away from anything, I pretty much just like tune out of everything.
right. Yeah,
So
I just cut mine back on probably about last 10 minutes, so that's cool. So yeah, we got some new people over there on Discord that
yeah, that like this Nemesis Prime. I was wondering if it was a person we were already familiar with, but according to here, he said uh, pretty much when we were on this when we all went over to the Sim Standard on that large, yeah. So that's where he saw us at and just like came over. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
so yeah, definitely. So we're going to continue to do this, man. Like I said, there's more things in the making. Like I said, it's on the back end as far as the Patreon. I mean, it's totally based on what you guys, if y'all okay with it, we'll put it out there. If you decide to pledge, that's fine. If not, we're still going to do what we do. I'm still in the works with the t-shirts and the hoodies. I know Noble said he's ready to buy one already. He wants to get one as soon as we get that screen printed and everything. So I'm gonna talk to my wife about that if she wants to put them up together. Put them up, her, and I'm pretty sure she'll get maybe a few other people to work with her to get those out there. Maybe we can start running that on the back. Oh, I ain't gonna say that again. I'm gonna shut up. Start
hmm
running, and
mission accomplished.
or if I go through Teespring or whatever. So that's gonna be there as well. And the streams and the videos are just gonna keep coming, man. I don't know what else to say. We're gonna just keep giving you guys good content, man. I think we're the ones on this side of the community that actually want a game, and not just sports games. We talk about other games as well. Like we just got finished talking about The Last of Us 2. And
Hmm.
I've been streaming, other games outside. DJ's definitely been playing other games outside of sports. So we do a little bit of everything. So, DJ, you got anything else? I think it's almost at the 2 hour mark. I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else. Just to let everybody know, just to start on my outro, you can find me on Twitter, DJ81. You can also find my blogs at my website at dj81.org. You can find me on Twitch, Evo325. Again, I did a test stream right after VF's test stream earlier today. That will stay up. I was originally was going to delete that, but that will stay up because I mentioned.
It looked really good.
Yeah, so and plus you saw Charlotte get blown out. It is funny because the game it started out. It was a back and forth contest. It was going up and down the court like you would see because the way I should have shown the sliders that I had in place. I think that's also going to be important when I talk about the sports games on the streams. Is showing the that's who's okay. Scott Smith is Nemesis Prime. All right, cool.
He's the one that joined.
I didn't know, so I was like, cool. So yeah, showing off the slider is definitely it's going to be important when we go into like when we do it as a group, break down the footage and stuff like that because everyone claims to have everyone has an experience with these games, but a lot of the times people don't realize they already customize it to their own liking. So when they're commenting on what needs to be improved, what should be in the game, they've already altered the experience to their own. So it's just like how many people really just comment on a game that by default.
Right.
But other than that, we had a good show. I felt like we had a good show tonight. Good turnout. I feel like could have been more, but we didn't really have a lot to talk about, so I can understand. But I appreciate everybody for joining us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. What you got, Bills?
I want to talk about this bubble because I'm still pissed off about this shit.
You ain't talking about when it comes to the men, the players need attention, though, right?
Wow.
Like so, we're getting into playoff time, and Devin Booker and Damian Lillard. I just want to give them a shout out because, they're gonna come out of this whole NBA bubble situation with a lot of people looking at them differently and for the better. Like, Damian Lillard before was considered a top 5 point guard by most. Now it's like you could argue that he's the best point guard in the league.
I wish Bradley Beal hadn't gotten hurt.
Yeah, because that would have been a situation where Bradley Beal would be going off too. Because Devin Booker's been playing out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Lillard had 60 in a game, 50 the game before that. It's absolutely crazy.
And you know what? Between them three, you kind of see them three kind of tweeting at each other. Not tweeting at each other, but tweeting each other in support of each other. Because you talk about three players that the league and overall gets disrespected.
Like people have been talking about Devin Booker for years. Why isn't his team competing? And, if he's such a good player, why aren't they anywhere near the playoffs annually? And
right.
Look at them. They went undefeated in the bubble without one of their best players, mind you, because Kelly Oubre is injured.
Right.
So, just giving a shout out to them, and the playoffs should be interesting. Hopefully Memphis doesn't make it. I mean, if I'm pulling for the Lakers to win the championship, I want to see Memphis make it. If I'm pulling for a good playoffs, I'm not cheering for Memphis to make it. And then, I think there's going to be some upsets that'll surprise some people. We'll probably talk a little bit more about that next week, even though the playoffs, I think, are starting this weekend.
Yeah.
So, we'll get into more of that on Tuesday, and I'll talk a little bit more about UFC 4 on Tuesday, too, since it unlocks tonight at 12. And excited about that. So
that sounds good. Yeah, like I said, for me, I don't have anything going on tomorrow. Saturday, I got a video up. Saturday, I'm probably like after work later on that night. I'll be doing some NCAA 14 retro stream on Sunday, and College Hoops 2K8 on Sunday. So on Monday. So that's what we're going to be doing on my end. And I don't have anything else. Mr. Ham, you're late, but that's cool. He pulled a B5 today, right?
Oh,
In the class.
Yeah, he pulled a B5. So
Always in the house. Yeah, always late.
yeah, it's all good though. Like I said,
I
what you
was about to say one more thing we had to add because Big East is also another conference that won't be playing in the fall.
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that.
Yeah,
right.
I've been keeping a running tab, so now it's the Big East is not playing.
Yeah, I think the Big East and the Big 12. I think the Big 12 said it as well.
Well,
no,
Big 10. Big 10 is the one postponed, but the Big 12 I don't think has said anything yet. They've been speculating Big 12 said they're gonna play.
Yeah, because Nebraska's trying.
They're the one.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're trying to get back in that conference. I'm like, well,
go back in it,
right.
I agree with Desmond Howard. I think they need to either make a public apology to the Big Ten or get kicked the fuck out because, quite frankly, they don't bring enough to the Big Ten to be talking the shit they were talking.
Right.
Well, that's true. Because see, Nebraska was big back in the Big 12, but when they came to the Big 10, they weren't a big bad conference. Team like they was. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and the white jerseys with the big N, red N on the side.
Oh,
I know it stands for Nebraska, but
I'm looking at this meme I just saw. There's something that says Caitlyn Jenner wants to play a villain in a Marvel movie. Someone said she's already an X-Man.
That was good. That's a good one.
Internet ain't shit.
Dude, the whole Kardashian family could play Rogue.
Shit.
That was funny. That was a good one. I admit. That was great.
That's fucking amazing.
All right,
Rogue, Mystique.
We about to go. Hey, man, I know life happens. Things happen, man. Hey, y'all, you be safe as well. You can always come back and listen to us on the back. I'm about to say it again. You can always come back and listen to us by rewinding it or just find us on iTunes and SoundCloud. Matter of fact, y'all go over there and just, you don't have to necessarily subscribe. We would like if you did, but go over there and give us a good rating. Just put 5 stars up there so people know what's happening over here. But other than that, man, we're gonna be out. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. And we'll talk about like UFC 4, the NBA, and probably some other janky stuff that's out there.
Janky.
All right. Y'all guys be easy. Peace.
All right. Peace.